Joining with me, Vimukti Hettiarachi, through my channel, Inca Academy of English, to talk about one of the major novels from your ordinary level examination, that is Vendor of Sweets by RK Narayan. So I have selected this novel to discuss with you what are the major quotations that I should select for my ordinary level examination in order to study. Because when I'm teaching, a lot of students are asking questions that, sir, what kind of quotations that we should select to write, we should by heart, we should study in order to write answers for the questions. So selecting quotations is very important for you. So today, from this video, I am going to teach you how to select important quotations which will be relevant for several themes from the certain book that you have selected in order to write answers, right? We will start with that. So if you take the book, you know the book, you must read the book first and foremost, then only you can get the quotations that you need. So if you take the book first and foremost, when you are writing an answer for literature, first and foremost, you have to think about the themes according to the book. So a book has a lot of themes accordingly. So as you can see here, perfection of art and imperfection of humanity, the conflict between the old and the young. The second theme is one of the major themes that you can see. The tension between appearance and reality, very important theme as well. Alienation and quest for identity, when you take Mali's character, that is very, very important. East and West conflict and the conflict between good and evil. So these are the major themes that you can see from this book. So if you are a student who is trying to write answers from the novel for the essay type question, these themes are very important for you. Today my idea is to give certain quotations which I have selected from the book, almost 5 or 6 quotations, and how you are going to actually use those quotations in order to write answers. How you can use the same quotation for different types of questions and prove your answer, because in literature, even though you wrote a lot of facts regarding the certain question, if you don't have quotations to prove that, it's really pity that you won't get a lot of marks, right? We'll go to the first quotation, that is this. I think you might have come across that. You can get this quotation from this book if you go to page number 56 and 57. It says like this: I have taken to eating beef, and I don't think I am any worse of it. Now I want to suggest, why not you people start eating beef? It will solve the problem of useless cattle in our country, and we won't have to beg food from America. I sometimes feel ashamed when India asks for American aid. Instead of that, why not slaughter useless cows which wander in the streets and block the traffic? If you have read this book, definitely you know the quotation. This quotation deals with Mali. Soon after Mali goes to America in order to become a writer, he sends a letter to his father. Later we get to know that Mali didn't write this letter, but this letter is written by Prince. But up to now, we are under the fact that Mali wrote this letter. What does he say here? Now, if you take this quotation, this very important quotation, and I can clearly say one of the most important quotations in the book. Why I am telling like that? Because using this quotation, you can address a lot of questions. First one, the traditionality and modernity. According to traditional India, the traditionality is actually represented by one of the protagonist characters called Jagannath or Jagan. According to him, he is a vegetarian, he is a Gandhian follower, so he did not like to eat beef. Eating beef is very similar in India, like eating your own mother's flesh, right? So because of that reason, Indian people, they believe that cow is a sacred animal. But soon after, this traditional boy Mali, he went to America, and he comes back to India. Before coming back to India, he sends a letter saying that, Father, I basically think that beef is something really good. So soon after Jagan gets this letter, he gets a cultural shock. So this quotation can be used for cultural gap as well. How this animal has been seen in a sacred point of view by Jagan, and how this has been seen by Mali according to his point of view. So both these questions can be addressed using this quotation. So if you are studying this book, this quotation will be very important for you to show the traditionality and modernity, the generation gap, and the conflict between father and son. That can be also addressed using this quotation. Right, we will go to the next quotation. Let's see, quotation number 2. Matters became worse when Mali indicated the girl at his side and said, "This is Grace, we are married." "Grace, my dad." complete confusion. Married? When were you married? You didn't tell me. Don't you have to tell your father? Who is she? This occasion is also very important if you have read the book. This incident comes under chapter number 8 when Mali comes with a half Korean, half American girl called Grace, saying that she is the wife. In the beginning of the novel, we get to know that she is actually the wife, but later we get to know that they are not married, they are living together. That is a different case. Why this quotation is very important for us? If you read the novel very carefully, the chapter number 12 and chapter number 13, it gives a clear indication about the marriage system of Indian traditional society. So Jagan is the person who is representing the traditionality. Jagan always believed that as a boy, Mali should marry a traditional Indian girl. But unfortunately, he married a Western girl, half Korean, half American girl. So Jagan gets complete confusion about this because he never thought that his son will marry a girl called Grace. The next thing is that she looks like a half Korean, half American girl. So because of that reason, Jagan thought that Mali has married a Chinese girl. At that time period, actually, the political scenario has been also shown by the RK NARAYAN. He says, Chinese people are invading our borders. Jagan says like that. If you read the novel, you can remember that. So why did you marry a Chinese girl? There are lot of girls that you can marry. Why did you select a Chinese girl? So this also becomes a problem. What kind of questions that you can address from this? The tradition of marriage. Again, traditionality and modernity. The conflict between father and son and the generation gap. Young generation, they are thinking about this marriage as a kind of trouble for them. That's why throughout the book we can see Jagan and Grace, even though they had a lot of confusions between them, they really like the concept of living together. They really enjoyed living together. But soon after Jagan get to know about that, Jagan thought that this is something really bad. Living together concept is not accepted by Jagan, but it was really enjoyed by the young generation. So there is generation gap as well. There is traditionality and modernity as well. There is the Eastern and Western culture as well. So if you select this quotation, you can cover almost all these questions. We will go to the next one. Right. This is the third quotation. She clutched the broom and raked every corner of the floor, saying, Father, you think I mind it? I don't. I must not forget that I am an Indian daughter-in-law. This quotation is also very important for you because of what reason? When I'm showing the quotation, if you have read the book, definitely you will get to know that this is the incident. So remembering incidents are also very important for you if you are a literature student. So why this quotation is very important for us? Soon after, Grace comes to Jagan's house. Grace adapts to the Indian culture. Even though she is a half Korean, half American girl, even though she was used to become an American girl, soon after she came to India, she adapted according to the traditional culture. This is a very good talent that we can see in Grace, but we cannot see this talent from the other characters. If you take Jagan's character, he is stagnated, he doesn't like to change. So because of that reason, his downfall can be seen. Second character, if you take Mali's character, his adaptation is not well enough. Because he goes to America, he adapts according to the American culture, and he comes to India and he behaves like an American in India. So it becomes a problem for him. His downfall, the major reason for his downfall is this fact. So how can we use this quotation for our questions? Number one, this quotation can be used to show the concept of adaptation. At the same time, this can be shown for the generation gap, where this girl is representing the modern generation, so she clearly adapted to the whatever the tradition that she is going through. But if you take Jagan's character, he could not adapt to the certain culture. So cultural gap also can be seen, generation gap can be also seen. At the same time, it shows the problem of adaptation. So very important quotation if you are going through the book Vendor of Sweets. We will go to the next one. Right. This one. It is a custom in this country to inquire where one was born and bred and who is who generally, and then we go on to the other things. This is very important quotation also, which is said by Jagannath. When Jagannath soon after met Grace, Jagan asked this question from Grace, and this clearly shows the traditional culture or the traditional norms that people have not only in India but also almost in Asian countries. They like to gossip. So they used to live in a society where are full of gossips. That's what Jagan says. It's normal custom in the country when someone came from another country to get to know about the person. But in other countries, it's not happening like that. So this quotation is a very good example for the traditional culture. At the same time, the answer, this is actually asked from Grace. The answer given by Grace is also very important. I will show you that as well. This is the answer given by Grace. She says, okay, father, only the passport and income tax people ask for such details in other countries. However, since I am also an Indian now, I might as well get used to things and tell you something. Father, that kind of private things are normally asked by income tax people and passport people. Why are you asking that? I don't know. But because I'm an Indian, I can tell you. This clearly shows you the traditionality and modernity. In traditional countries, in Asian countries actually, not only the traditional countries, in Asian countries, including our country as well, they are so much keen about other people's business. They like to poke their nose for the other people's business. But here, in the modern culture, they don't check about other people's business. They care about their own business. That is what the Grace says, that father, since because I am daughter-in-law, I will tell you, since because I am an Indian girl now, I will tell you, but in our country, only passport people and income tax people, asked about these things. So these are the 5 quotations that I have selected from the book. We will meet you from the next video log about the other quotations and how to answer other questions using this book. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Subscribe our YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much.